Hey everybody, welcome back. Chris McCormick, VP of Tour and Education, joined by Blake Smith here at our Scottsdale facility, and today we are testing new Callaway Apex. So these guys, pretty cool story here. A lot going on, a lot of attention to detail. I mean, we're going Apex Pro, CB, MB. You want to give us a rundown, some of the new tech we should expect to see?
These irons are really designed for the better players, elite ball strikers in the MB and the CB. The Pro, elite ball strikers, maybe better amateurs, somebody that really wants to blend a set. They really made a conscious effort to make the turf interaction really good, and especially in the MB and the CB. They changed some of the back part of this golf club. It exits the ground really well. Everything here is designed to look the same all the way through. Not exactly as far as the top line goes, but everything's meant to be blended.
But the aesthetics-wise, all of these very visually appealing, especially to that better player that doesn't like a lot of flash.
Yeah.
So first one we're going to test is new Apex MB. So starting right out of the gate, Player's Blade. Hardest one out of the set to hit, on paper, but for a player like you, I think you've got it. So let's see, first impressions, what do you think of this redesigned MB?
Blades for me are always gonna be beautiful. Unless they really screw it up, and they definitely didn't do it here. I like what they've done with the previous MB where they had just that one little weight in the center. Mm-hmm. I like what they've done, and they take this weight like the TCB. They did this for a reason. They're gonna start changing CG around and stuff like that, just like a lot of the companies are starting to do. They want the long irons going higher, and then they want to be able to flight the low irons, but this is wearing it right on their sleeve. And then these are adjustable too, so from the top line it looks pretty much the same as the last version, which, I mean, the last version looked great. So it is compact. This is definitely not built for speed. You've got to hit the center of this. If you don't hit the center of this, you need to go to a different category. So let's see if I can hit the center. Yeah, that felt buttery. That is the blade feel, and it got my distance.
And Callaway has a proprietary forging process with that 1025 carbon, and it's interesting, like the big story with these guys, they really focused on redesigning sole design.
Yeah.
So amount of camber that they have on the leading edge versus the trailing edge, getting in and out of the turf clean, and consistency and playability for their tour players.
Yeah, I'm obviously not going to feel that in here. That's why at TrueSpec we do outdoor fittings as well. So if somebody's really interested in that, then they can feel it outdoors. But I mean, you can see it. They changed some of that. They changed that leading edge as well. I personally am all about how it interacts with the turf, and I like it when companies really pay attention to that. So. Yep, that's another flushed one. That one might go in. One time. Pretty good.
Let's see one more.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's 3 striped carbon copies. And this is really just a 5 and under handicap golf club, maybe even more like 2 and under. But people can blend the set. I mean, that's the big story here as far as the way they designed it. They can go all 3 in a set. So they could go like 8 iron, 9 iron.
So next iron we're going to hit is new Apex CB. So comparable in size and shape from the top to what we had in the MB, but definitely a little softer on the leading edge. So turf interaction is going to be a little different, not quite the precision and shaping that they have on the MB. So it should be, like I said, a little cleaner, a little softer through the turf. Also have a little bit more forgiveness with that inclusion of now a slight cavity back. And I mean, just overall perception, what do you think?
This is definitely where most of the tour pros are going to land. This is just the next generation of the TCB that was so successful. I know Rom plays that, Xander plays that. So it definitely has that same back weighting. It's made to blend. You can see that. You can see a little bit of the change here on the bottom of the golf club. Not too much. From the top, looks almost the same as that MB, maybe just a touch thicker. But overall, it's beautiful. It's the same heel to toe. It's compact. I don't see any big time offset or anything. Obviously it's Elite Ball Striker golf club, and see what it feels like. That was flushed. Pretty good. I left it out to the right just a little bit, but that felt great. Maybe just touch on the toe. That was a little miss. That felt thin. See how the forgiveness is. That's pretty good.
Are we saying you're an MB guy, Blake?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I like the aesthetics, so if they perform, I'm all in.
CB's just too much for you.
Yeah,
Too much. Need to go back to the purest
Yeah.
MB look.
I got to challenge myself, apparently.
There you go.
I got to have a tiny sweet spot, and I got to really focus on every shot, and it'll just wear me out. So that was pretty far off the toe. Pretty good miss, though.
Yeah, the results there for that miss was pretty nice.
Let's go one more. Yeah, that was stripe. Nice little tight draws with this. You know, when I don't see offset, I can release the golf club. Like I've said in previous videos, too much offset, I feel like I gotta hold on.
Sure.
Or then if I let it go, then my start line's left. No offset, and I feel like I can just release it and not worry about left. And that's an elite ball striker kind of thing. You know, when you get into this category, a lot of right-handed good players don't like left. So this is right in there.
Okay, so last one we have to hit, Apex Pro. So this has been basically a fan favorite in my book when it comes to the Callaway Apex line. This guy, just to keep in mind compared to what we found in MB and CB, not a fully forged head. So this is actually going to be hollow cavity construction that incorporates some forged components, as well as incorporating Callaway's proprietary urethane microspheres. So we've got speed, forgiveness, feel, workability, everything bundled together in this new Pro package.
Yeah, the Apex Pro has been a great performer in that player distance category for a good long time. Now, they haven't changed all that much as far as like loft goes. This is just 1 degree less loft. So they de-lofted it just 1 degree. So it is definitely designed to be blended. Aesthetically, it's got the exact same kind of thought process from the MB to the CB to this one. It is a thicker top line. The last year's version kind of was a little clicky. That's from what I was hearing. And I would hear it myself. We're gonna see how the sound is, see how the feel is. Definitely a little bit more offset here. So you know what happens when I see that. But let's give it a whirl. Little on the toe. Yeah, it flew a little farther. Definitely, if I'm going to hit it on the toe, I'm going to pull it a little bit. It's going to spin lower and go a little farther, but
Sure.
that was pretty good though. That sounded good, felt good. That one was ripped. Now, there's that left start line because of the offset. That is exactly what I talked about before. That one was smoked though. Yeah, now I'm going to try my best at not lifting the handle and holding on. And it went more left. This one just wants to hook, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Because if I'm going to put this into a longer iron, it's harder to release a 4-iron, so that would be a good thing. There, I hit one pretty good. So definitely not in my category as far as what I would like to play, but a lot more people would want to play this one. And then seeing that where it goes a little bit left, that isn't necessarily a bad thing because I get a lot of people in this category that hit too many fades, they want to hit it straighter. This would be a great club for them.
Oh, sound compared to what you were talking about in previous generation of Pro, again, acoustics, better here.
Yeah, definitely. Not clicky, nice and solid.
Well, let's pull up the data, take a look at how these three stack up side by side, and we'll run through some numbers here and then put a bow on it.
Sounds good.
So taking a look at our comparison screen here, Apex Pro, CB, MB stacked up side by side. Anything on our screen here jumping out to you, Blake?
Well, the one that sticks out that I did not hit well is that CB. So that's just not the one for me. It looked fine. For one reason or another, I didn't hit it very well, so that would be the one that I'd pull out. That happens during a fitting. 3 or 4 shots in, somebody's hitting it bad. I'm just like, okay, let's move on. There's so many different options. That would fit into my category, but the MB was so good that I would, if I were fitting myself, I'd say, okay, take that MB and go all the way through the set. The Apex Pro, that's obviously going to go a little faster and a little farther, a little less spin, just based on lofting and structure. I like the way that it felt and sounded, big improvements there. It's going to be interesting to hit the MB outside and see how that turf interaction is. But yeah, I'm definitely an MB guy. I mean, you got the standard deviation of 1, and I hit it right at the flag every single time. That was a slam dunk. But yeah, that overall, the way that they're going to be able to blend them, somebody could even do a 3 blend set, so they could go Pro, CB, MB, and then they could figure out where they want to go there, what irons they want to fit into that. So,
and taking a look at the new offering for the entire Apex line,
yeah.
And there's a lot to choose from. There's essentially something for everybody,
yeah.
And I really like the story that they have, paying extra attention to turf interaction, consistency, playability,
yeah.
And then giving the player the opportunity to blend all 3 into one set if they choose to do something along those lines.
Yeah.
And with that, say make sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, feel free to leave us any feedback or any questions below, and make sure to visit your local TrueSpec, give these guys a test for your next fitting. We'll see you next time.